today's video, I wanted to show you my high school art journal. So, I believe this was just for one class that I did. My teacher would have us fill out the pages based on, like, what assignment we were doing or a certain topic, if I recall correctly. And I say if I recall because I haven't really looked at this since I made it somewhere in the 2000s, the first half of the 2000s. I flipped through it just to make sure that there was something to show, and I saw that there was kind of a combination of writing and images. So I think I'm mostly going to focus on talking about the images and the art in this, and not so much when I was just filling it out with writing. So as you can see, this is covered in paint. Well, not covered, splattered in paint. It's a little worn down. I think I just had to put this in my book bag all the time because at my high school we did not have lockers, which was rough, but we just didn't have them. These pink post-it notes, these are grades, I'm pretty sure. I think that my teacher would grade the sets of pages individually. We would just give it to her and she would grade a few pages and then give it back with the post-it note. So without further ado, let's see what's in here. Okay, so it looks like I was talking about a contour line drawing in my art classes, so I'm taking more than one at this point. So I was taking painting 1 and art and design 1, 2 art classes at the same time in high school. That seems like a lot. I'm venting about doing contour lines. I'm tired of it. Why am I venting to my teacher? Well, sorry to her. I'm saying that I like painting 1 more than art and design 1. Hopefully this was for my painting teacher, not my art and design 1 teacher. I said I don't like it because it's at the end of the day and I'm tired, so I'm not dragging art and design, the teacher or anything. So then I'm talking about a hand project. The option is to do either a hand/object picture or a self-portrait picture. You would make the picture have subtextual meaning that would reveal something about you. And I did a whole mock-up, I guess, of what it would look like if I did a self-portrait with subtextual meaning. But I went for the hand. So, a possible version of my hand project with a key. According to the assignment description handout, the goal is the following. Quote, to combine your hand and an object with a significant historical or art historical image to signify, to create a unique and meaningful work of art. And then I said, okay, that's a little confusing, but I think I get the general idea. An object that's meaningful to me or that says something I want to say. I'm not sure that is what the assignment was asking, but whatever, we'll see how my teacher felt about it. So now we're talking about keys. This is quite cute. This little key block letter situation with the 2 colors. Orange and sort of like a fuchsia, pink. And I said, keys, keys, keys. What will the key in my picture represent? Keys are very symbolic. Usually, a key represents an out of a situation, I think. That's not really what I'm thinking, though. I wonder if I can make it about luck. That's what I think of when I think about keys. I asked some other people, though, and they said that they definitely don't think about luck. I wonder if that says something strange about me. Oh well, I'll find a way to make it about luck. Oh. So, here it looks like I pulled up a bunch of references for different keys. Why is there a post-it note here? I don't know. It's a blank post-it note. at these three right here, I like that one the most now. Then, no. I said it looked boring. Here I'm talking about the mediums I'm gonna use. So I said watercolors and black, and then markers or like shiny materials, like collage materials. I can't believe I said black, because watercolors are probably my favorite painting medium now, but I guess I wasn't feeling it yet. So I think that's like a more complete thumbnail with more of the final idea. And good news, my teacher did not seem to be mad that I said I didn't like my art design class. So I think that maybe this was my painting teacher, but I honestly don't remember. And I don't remember making this at all. Oh, I've changed my mind about art design here. I said I liked it now. Happy to see things turned around. I got a 93% on the hand project, I think. I think that's what that means. Yes. I'm gonna use this piece of paper when I need to cover things for personal info reasons. So on this page, it looks like we were talking about, or we were covering value scales. I imagine you'd need to use the value scale on just about every drawing you do. So I said we were working on it in art and design, and I did a sphere with the value scale, and worked on smudging, I guess, with some art pencils. Oh, very smudgy over here. I said I liked the 6B pencil because it was very smooth. I feel like I could have curved it more. And maybe the shadow should be bigger if it were right overhead. I'm not sure. I wonder if I did this just based on vibes and memory, or if I was looking at something. So here I did some drawings, it looks like. I said that I don't feel like writing anymore, so I'm just gonna draw. This is a close-up of a girl in a different project, I guess. I actually remember drawing this iPad because I remember that, or not iPad, iPod, vintage. But I remember this because I was listening to music on my iPod while I drew this. And I remember a few times I went to pick this up instead of the iPod. And so that made me feel like I'd done a good job in the drawing. Roll of duct tape. I abandoned this drawing because I thought it looked ridiculous. It should be a ring. I think it's alright. Just perspective's a little weird, but I don't know if I would say it looks ridiculous. So it looks like I did some thumbnails to do a still life, and we had to pick a few objects that represented something about us. I chose the iPod. Gosh, my brain doesn't want to say iPod. It's like, do you mean iPad? No, I mean iPod. I chose the iPod, because it represented my love of music, my glass ring to represent school, and my favorite tube of lip gloss. Which represents how much I love high-end makeup. Oh my gosh, I still do. I'm probably gonna put it up after this, but I've just filmed me like looking through some of my favorite eyeshadows, and when I got them all together, I realized that they were all like my most expensive ones. I don't remember making this piece. Out of these three, which one looks the best? I think maybe that one. Or that one. Not that one. And I didn't like it then either. I'm definitely not using this one. So talking about the three objects thing, the piece, the still life thing, and I started with something very real. The hardest part of doing a project is starting it, if you ask me. Absolutely. Once you're going, it's so much easier. And then also, there's some kind of a Christmas contest that I had to make pieces for both of the art classes. This I do remember because I actually think that I placed in the contest. Not with that one though, with my second one. So I didn't like how the first Christmas thing came out, and so I was happy I got another chance to try again. And I think I placed in the contest with this. And it was this still life of Christmas knickknacks. I'm going to put an alligator-shaped candle holder with Christmas tree candles together with a star-shaped stuffed Santa and a clear ornament with glitter in the shape of a Christmas tree on it. And I said I liked this thumbnail, which has a bit of a window in it, I guess. So I guess we were learning about symbolism and covering Keith Haring, the pop artist. So I drew his barking dog, his flying saucer, and his radiant baby. That's what that's called. It's called Radiant Baby. I didn't remember that. And I say that I really liked that he first just drew his art on panels in the subway. Wouldn't that be interesting to just be at the subway and see all those drawings everywhere and not know who did them? I would love that. So then I talked about how I got some Misket. I bought some stuff called Misket Liquid Frisket. Why is it called Liquid Frisket? I don't know. I said it smells like fish heads and sulfur, so that's a minus. But Misket is amazing. So great for watercolors. Really helps you add a ton of detail. So basically how it works, which I think I described here, is you put down a lighter color or no color, and then you cover things that you want to be that color in the Misket, which is like a silicone-y thing. It starts as a liquid, and then it turns into a solid. So, for this, it looks like I did a light wash of tan, and then I put the Misket over those spots where the light tan is. You let it dry, and then you paint over it another color. So here it looks like I did the medium brown. Then I erased the Misket off the picture to reveal that the lighter part was still there, and I think I added the details of these darker browns, probably after, maybe before I erased, and it looks like my teacher recommended it to me. So then it looks like we were doing some projects on symbols, and we were etching stuff into a mirror. I vaguely remember this. I don't remember how we etched onto the mirror. I think I did that one, or something like it. And then it looks like I created this drawing based on vibes, which is always a good way to go when you're making art. I just kind of did whatever. And then I was like, yes, this is good. So I don't know if the assignment was to just draw it here or draw it somewhere else too. But it was to do something with symbolism. So the symbolism of this, I meant for the box to represent potential. The swirls are creative force. The music notes are creative product. And these dots within the notes are designed to show that the notes are intricate. So I wrote a little bit more about symbolism, probably because I needed to fill this page. Symbolism in art isn't new, The very first artwork that people know of has symbols of animals. The cave paintings of bulls don't seem to have been created to show off the artist's unknown skill. I think I didn't want to be rude to the artist. Oh no, wait, I wanted to say that the artist is unknown. They were probably created too. Well, I don't know. I do know that the animals were symbols, though. Are those bulls symbols? I'm not sure if they are symbols. I don't know. Oh, so my teacher wrote a note here saying, are you going to write about getting second place in the contest? Exclamation mark, question mark. So I got second place in the contest, I suppose. It's funny her saying, are you going to write about that? Why are you writing about all this random stuff? Collage. I keep seeing collages everywhere I go, so I decided to try and make one. Look at all these lips. It's so many lips. My first impression upon finishing. Wow, that took a long time. But yeah, it's there. In case you didn't notice, it's there. Over on the right. And I say I don't know how collages are done, and that I did a collage do see that. I think it's a little bit sickening when you look at it for a long time. And I kind of agree. Because lips are very beautiful in general, but when they're all just disembodied and alone, it's pretty unsettling. Some of them are smiling and some of them aren't. So many different sizes. Collage too. So I did another one, and I kind of like this collage. I like the use of the different colors, and I like how I put her behind these. Oh, these ones in the front. I was happy with it at the time, it seems, because it looks like a picture and not just like a bunch of lips thrown together. I saw a collage like this one on the internet somewhere. I can't remember where. It was of a surfer on a bunch of different waves. Waves from different magazines, I mean. And I thought it looked cool, so I decided to try it. Mine isn't really that similar to the one I saw on the internet, come to think of it. But that's what I was sort of going for. I can see how it's similar because it has different flowers instead of different waves. And she's in motion like a surfer would be. Oh, I like how I did a little collage numbering. That's cute. Keep it cohesive. So, it looks like my teacher liked the collages. And then this is about a charcoal drawing. We were doing an art and design. I actually do remember doing that because I think my mom still has it. We're doing a large-scale charcoal drawing in art and design. I've done some work with charcoal before, in Art 1 last year, but I've never done something so big. I've never done any kind of art this big, actually. Doing a picture on a large scale kind of sucks. I have to stand up to do it for one thing. Plus, it's really intimidating to work with because I don't really know how it's going to turn out. I have to do little pieces at a time. And then I say that I did a picture of a model that I found at my teacher's desk. I really liked her portrait, but I was wary about her plastic raincoat, which was clear. I wasn't sure how that was gonna go because of like the reflections. Apparently the raincoat costs like $1,000. That would probably be considered cheap now for a Prada coat, even if it is a clear plastic raincoat. This project took a long time, and I had to take it off. I wish I had a picture of this, because I remember it turning out pretty well, but I don't think I put a picture in here. Now, looks like in art and design we were doing some watercolors. So I did like a little drawing of a rose, and I said I did it out of my head. This is so pigmented for watercolors, I guess I was really laying it on. So then here are two more pictures that I guess I did out of my head. This one I said, I don't even know what this is. It looks like I realized I used too much paint. That is really, looks very thick for a watercolor. It started as an underwater scene, but I guess it got out of hand. This one is quite cute though, it's a little bird. Oh, I liked it. It was my favorite of the three. I agree now. That was a better one. So it looks like we were doing acrylic paintings, and I was really struggling. It was supposed to be a limited color painting, and I lost the painting that I was doing, or the picture that I was like using as a reference, which is pretty rough. I switched to a picture of Jessica Simpson, and I wish I hadn't picked someone famous because then you could tell it didn't look like her. I said, I asked my teacher for help. I liked what she did, not what I did. I thought, oh, maybe this painting is a learning experience. When I look at this writing of my younger self, I'm so hard on myself. Being a teenager is really hard. I think a lot of teenagers are so hard on themselves because you're still learning who you are. So then it looks like we were doing a self-portrait in paint. said that the thumbnails should be more about the composition than, I guess, whatever I was doing here. I feel like those two are about composition. I don't know what's going on with that. She didn't mark me off, so I think it's fine. She's just giving me a tip. You can never do too much drawing. I think that was written on the board, and I got the quote wrong on another page, so I decided to just do some drawings, I guess. This is a drawing of a bottle of perfume I never wear, so you can see that the level is high. Oh, it is right at the top. This is Estee Lauder's Beyond Paradise. It's got a clear but rainbowy bottle, which was a little hard to do, but I think it turned out well. I agree. I feel like it's really good. I had to hold up the bottle though the whole time I was drawing it, which was a bad move on my part. Oh my gosh. I should have just drawn it from an angle, so I would have been able to set it on the table. And then I say that it didn't occur to me until I was already in too deep, and then I just stuck with it. And then on this page, I drew an X-Acto knife, and I said it was much easier than the perfume bottle. So over here it looks like I was instructed to write about the success of other people's pen and ink drawings, and I thought that a lot of people did a good job, but I thought in general all the watercolors were more compelling to me than the pen and inks, at least from far away. So then here, imaginary creature. So in art design, we were told to make either a mask or an imaginary creature. So I guess I have some ideas here for imaginary creatures. This one's covered. Ugh. So here they are. A bird/fish. An angry thing that wants to hug you. A bookworm. A lion/baseball/floating head ? A blob/immobile. An alligator/a bunny. A kangaroo/a banana/an alligator. A turtle/a monkey. And a giraffe/a snake. I think I like that angry thing that wants to hug you the most. It does look both like it's angry and like it wants to hug you, but I like its color combination. Oh, so it looks like I did the bird/fish. Can you see? I took a Polaroid of it. So, oh, look, one of the sequins I used is stuck in the book. It's like an iridescent sort of sequin. Gosh, that must have taken a long time. I fully sequined it. Oh. I said I decided to cover it in decorations because the cellular clay underneath it was lumpy and I didn't like that, so I kind of wanted to hide that. I said I used these sequins in another project, a smaller version of it. Oh, is that it? So I glued that there. I'd used the smaller one before, and I knew that it took on the colors around it, so I painted the body of the fish specific colors, because I wanted to use cool colors. I did green, purple, and white. So did I do green under the sequins? Oh, and apparently the little pupil, that's purple sequins, and I wanted to tie it together with the beak. So this was a project to do a reflection painting. So I painted this from a magazine, and there it is, pictured in a Polaroid. I made a disclaimer, and I said the Polaroid camera dulls colors, so that's why they don't look the same. And I was happy how it turned out, and I apparently had to do it really fast because I was absent for 3 days of the project. So here I mused a little bit about working in 3D versus 2D. I said that working in 3D kind of required less thought after I made my plan. Whereas 2D, I thought about you think about every little thing, but I wasn't sure if it was just the one project that was different for. Here we have a drawing of a chocolate bar. This page also has the impression of a lot of writing. which I guess is a specific technique to get the look of marble. And then a free choice painting, which I took a picture of here. And I felt that it turned out better than the Jessica Simpson one. I guess I didn't put a picture of that in here because I didn't like how it went. I don't remember that at all, honestly. It could have been perfectly fine, and I was just being hard on myself. But I also said that I thought it was easier to shade and color versus black and white. So, looks like we were doing color theory and art and design. And I said it wasn't really new to me, so I was just kind of recapping it. There are the 3 primary colors and the color wheel. So now it looks like we were doing scratchboard art. Looks like apparently we started with rainbow ones, but I struggled with it because the picture I wrote was maybe not a good choice for this kind of drawing, or this kind of project. My teacher had a book of like copyright-free images, and she fit it to the side. I picked something from it, and then I traced it because she said we could. And then here it looks like I was playing around with the little scratch board, and I made a slug, which is quite cute, some waves, a snowman, a mountain, and a storm. I think that my mom still had this one, and she told me my nephew put it up in his room. The final project, I mean. So here's the 3rd collage, and this one, the blue caveway, so it's a little bit coming apart. I said I didn't think this one was quite as successful, and yeah, it's not quite as good as the other one, the last one, but I have a pretty good attitude about it. I gave some thoughts on why I thought it didn't work out this time. So I took a picture of the marble painting, marbleized background painting, and it's pretty cute. It's this little lizard in similar colors the background. Here's a paper plate painting. I guess was an assignment. I did, what is that? Orange slices and cucumber bits. And I guess I was pretty happy with it, which is good because I'm pretty hard on myself in a lot of the other pages. I think that's cute. I got a lower grade on this last set of pages, but it was because it was late. She also wrote okay. So I guess she didn't like these as much as some other ones. Or maybe she was like annoyed that I turned it in late. So here it looks like there's an acrylic painting project, and I took this picture of my mom's pearls in a circular box from overhead and was painting that. It looks like I say that I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at painting. Certainly better than when I did the Jessica Simpson one, which was a real struggle apparently. But I said that I was having trouble getting the pearls to look as pretty as they do in the picture. That would be hard, because it's like, I must have done this with flash inside the box, and it's kind of blowing out up there. And it's a lot more shadowed down there. And then pearls are just kind of lustrous, so each pearl is like subtly lustrous in its own way. That could be a little hard. So then here I write about how we were doing some kind of a Cubism project, and I say that I was confused because I thought, because when I think of Cubism, I think of a Picasso type thing where people have squares for heads and triangles for eyes, but apparently there's like a different kind of Cubism, and it was whatever this is, dividing things face up and then shading it in a different way. And so I decided to do a picture of Judy Garland as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. I said, I just bought Somewhere Over the Rainbow off of iTunes, so I've had this movie on my mind. So here's how the scratchboard turned out. And I said I felt like it went really well. I also said that I didn't do anything differently from how I did the last one, so I didn't know why this one turned out better. But my teacher let us trace the outline of this one, so that probably helped. So here's that pearl painting done. I wrote that I kind of redid it because I felt like it was too gray. So I added a little more color, but I thought maybe it was better the first time, and then I couldn't decide. It's hard to tell here, now that I'm looking at it decades later, because this picture's a little blurry. I think it's good overall. Here, we were supposed to be thinking about the difference between creating and copying in class. So according to the lesson, copying is when you directly take an image that was created by someone else and reproduce it. Examples of copying would be painting an ad from a magazine that a photographer has taken a picture for. The photographer is the creator. When you create art, you take something from your mind or something from nature and turn it into an image that is your own. When you set up a piece of artwork, it is your own. When you copy an image, it may look nice, but it isn't your own. I'm not sure I totally agree with that now. In some cases it can be, but in some cases if you're using something as a reference and changing it, it can be your own in art, I think. I guess it depends on how you execute it. So it looks like one of the last assignments was to do a body close-up. And apparently everyone was doing a picture of an eye, which makes sense because eyes are very pretty. So I decided to do something else, just anything else. I searched through magazines because it didn't have to be an original image, and then I found a picture of a model, I presume, and it's a close-up of her arm. And I talked a bit about how I felt worried that I hadn't chosen the right reference picture, and how looking at people's work on the board and how everyone's scratchboard turned out made me think that your choice of reference picture, makes a big difference in how your piece turns out. I think this is the last mandatory set of pages, and it looks like I did a little more after this, but for my last one, I got 1 point off, because apparently I was supposed to give a personal example in copy versus create. These little eyes and the magnifying glasses are cute. Okay, so here I say that I wanted to try out some stuff with glitter, and obviously it didn't work. I tried mixing glitter into paint, and then I tried using paint like glue. The paint like glue idea worked better than the mixing one. Oh, but it's still stupid. So hard on myself. I think it's good to experiment. But I was right when I said glitter gets everywhere. And then I said, by the way, note to self, this book isn't mandatory anymore. This year is over. This is just for me. So I guess let's see how much more I did. Okay, so here are some pictures of recent finished products, I guess, or recent finished paintings. So this is the body close-up that I was talking about in the previous painting. I actually feel like that turned out great. I don't remember this. I vaguely remember liking this print of dress. Honestly, I didn't have faith in myself when I saw the thumbnail design of the composition, because I thought, maybe other people are doing eyes for a reason, but I feel like it came through because the colors in that are really fun, and in the shadows are nice and striking. So then this was extra credit, which I'm sure I did because I was like late and absent, which I just always was in high school. I used to have a lot of trouble getting up in the morning because my mom would go to work before I had to go to school. And so when I was trying to get myself up, a lot of times it just did not happen. So I would always take any opportunity for extra credit because I would always have points off for lateness. So then apparently this final project was called Impress the Teacher. I pulled an all-nighter for that one and I did it in one sitting. Why? Is it ever that serious? Why did I pull an all-nighter? I probably just got in the zone. Gosh, I wonder what reference picture I used for that. That is nice. And actually, this is pretty much the end of the book. I guess let's do some final thoughts. That was so interesting, and honestly a little, strange to go through something so old that has a lot of things that I really don't remember in it. I was struck by how hard I was about the art I was doing in these pages when I was writing. I guess being a teenager is just really hard because you're sort of finding out who you are, and there's a lot of comparing yourself to other people. I guess this makes me think about how I'm glad that as I've gotten older, I have learned how to be more gentle with myself. Because I think when I was younger, I used to be a lot harder on myself than I was on anyone else. And as I've gotten older, I try to think about how I should extend myself the same kind of grace and understanding that I tend to extend to other people. It was fun to see those old projects, especially the pictures. I'm glad that I put those in there, especially at the end, because I don't think that was mandatory. I used to do so much more art when I was younger, and I really haven't done